Here we stand. Welcome back. I do not remember where we left off. Oh, that's right. We were going to deal with Vels. Vels chapter 5. Then Eris chapter 5. It's been too long. You have 3 silver keys. Outplayed. Well, this place is pretty cool, huh? I suppose. I suppose? You suppose? What do you possibly have to complain about? Nothing in particular. That's why I suppose it's pretty cool. Just not particularly struck by its amazingness or anything. Damn. What high standards you must have. I haven't stayed in a place half this fancy in my entire life. It's not about high standards, just not about valuing stuff like this. This whole lay and low thing's working out pretty good in my book. Well, for being technical, it's not really Polly's place. It's the late Veronica Collins. She died in this very house. Wait, is that right? Oh, gross. Think it's like haunted or something? Haunted? Really? Krish, even you can't seriously believe in ghosts. I mean, not really. But I mean, it's just not a fun thought, okay? You can not believe in something and still be creeped out. I mean, you don't believe in the monsters in horror movies, but they're still scary, right? Valid point, I guess. Anyway, who cares if Veronica Collins used to live here? Like you said, she's dead. She's been dead. Polly owns the house. Ergo, henceforth, verily, this counts as Polly's place. So, my description was right. You didn't need all 3 of those antecedents. Including all of them actually makes you sound less refined. But anyways, another valid point. You're really on a roll today, Krish. You know, that's a nice thing to say, but somehow the way you're saying it makes it feel demeaning. I'm sorry. I really am. It's just very easy to poke fun at you. That's not a good reason. It's not. I apologize. And again, with your words you apologize, and yet somehow I don't particularly believe you all that much. I was being legitimate that time. I really was. If you say so. But thin ice. Alright. Anyways, you're right. This place is nice. Got a lot of different rooms, it's spacious, pretty nice looking. Never been someone who really got aesthetics and stuff, but even I can tell it's pretty swanky. I'm pretty sure the reason you do like this place doesn't have anything to do with any of that. Oh yeah? I think any house with a personal library, an excess of snacking food, and a decent bed would leave you impressed. Guilty as charged. Fair enough. Hey, what can I say? I'm a simple person. I know what I like. I nodded my head. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that at all. The conversation with Krish was casual and light. That was good. It seemed like we've made progress in repairing that relationship. We wanted to keep their spirits up. It was important that things felt normal. Krish didn't handle pressure that well. They began to crack. Well, that wasn't happening. At any rate, I didn't want to get them worked up over nothing. To that end, I also had to give a bit of a white lie about why I actually was there. I said I wanted to spend some more time with Polly and Krish. Just hang out. I had time. That wasn't wrong, per se. But the real reason was because I planned to make good on my protection promise that I made with Polly. Not just for the deal's sake, mind you. If shit went down, Krish was likely to get caught up in it one way or another. I didn't want their position compromised. Keeping Polly around while he owed me was also probably to my advantage. So then why was I suspicious of tonight? Well, I put in a couple of defensive measures for this house. A few were obvious, but one was less so. I scattered small glass pieces around the perimeter of the house, and covered them in leaves and foliage. If someone planned an assault on the house, they'd probably try and do some reconnaissance before, to get around my more obvious defense measures. Earlier today when visiting, I did one of my regular glass checks. And sure enough, some of those small glass shards were a lot smaller. Somebody had been snooping around. Snooping as usual, I see. That didn't necessarily mean an attack was happening tonight. Didn't necessarily even mean anything at all. But, well, better safe than sorry. It is a nice place. Still, I don't think I'll ever really get how rich people decorate interiors. I mean, look at that. I pointed to a large, thin metal bowl sat on a glass table sill next to a couch. The metal bowl were a number of conch shells, starfish, and other undersea-themed items. What exactly is the deal with that? Why is that there? Why the large, thin bowl that's too big for what it contains? Why the aquatic theme? There's no other traces of aquatic themes. Well, not all interior decoration has to have a lot of thought put into it. Sometimes things just are the way they are because they look kind of cool. The bowl and the items look kind of cool. That's why they're there. I mean, fine. But if that's the case, the price tag on decorations like this are really unjustified. You don't know the price tag on those decorations? Can make a fair guess. Value's relative. I guess. It's relative when you're rich. You know, it's rare for you to be the one to get caught up in small talk. You're absolutely right. We should be discussing some important things. How are things on the Limbo front? Does Polly have an actionable plan to gain some power? Define actionable. Alright, that answers that. Okay, the two of us have been doing some brainstorming. Oh no. That must have been fruitful. It has been. Basically, two ways in which Polly can take over a Limbo. On the one hand, we could get Odin to respect Polly, which ain't happening. Seems like a bit of an uphill battle, huh? Sorta. But Polly's been putting in the required legwork. Cleaning up his image. Chipping in more with the company. None of this matters alone, of course, but it makes it more plausible that Odin could favor Polly in the future. I don't know how much I believe in that line of attack. Doesn't look super promising, I'll admit. But you know, Odin's fickle, apparently. We should be on the lookout for chances to impress him. What's the other option? Well, we could try dragging Art down. If there's enough public sentiment against him, he'll bow out himself. Or if not, Odin will probably force him out. All in the name of keeping a Limbo alive. I think that seems like a much more plausible strategy. Art's probably super dirty. Just a matter of finding his specific weakness. Not just finding the weakness, we have to get proof of it. That could be tricky. Char's apparently got some contacts that she can use to try and scrounge up some information. That's what we're waiting on now. Well, to start at least, I can't criticize too much. After all, it's not like the Duat front has been shored up too much anyways. No? Yeah, well, it's not a horrible situation. When I've heard, the active hunt for you has pretty much all but died down. You were never, like, the highest priority target. You just worried you were a liability. Is that right? Yeah, but if you're busy lying low, then you don't post a threat by rallying people again. In his eyes, that's as good as you being dead. Still, that doesn't mean you can go back to normal life anytime soon. We need to come up with a more permanent solution. And do you have any ideas about that? Hit on you, from what I can tell, is not a universal duad order. It's the command of Yi. Which means if Yi is no longer in power, you're not in danger. Vels, you're not thinking about killing Yi, are you? That's a little extreme for my tastes. All I'm saying is that, in some way, Yi needs to lose his power in the duad organization for you to be safe. Beyond that, I'm clueless. Damn. Well, thanks for looking into things. No problem. Sorry I have to stay holed up in this place even longer. Nah, it's not a problem. In fact, I kinda like being stuck in one place. Makes me focus more. Actually, get this. I've actually gotten started on that book I wanted to write. No shit. Yep. Turns out confinement was all I really needed to get some motivation. Well, that's good to hear. Yeah, well, I don't know if it's actually any good, though. I'll be the judge of that. You want to look at what I got so far? Yeah, all of a sudden, I stopped speaking. I remained silent. Vels? I kept silent. Listened out closely. Did you hear something? No. Did you? I don't know. I thought I heard something, but it was so faint I wasn't sure if my mind was just playing tricks on me. I wasn't sure if I could even call it hearing something. It's more of a gut feeling. Thought of those words like a dirty phrase. Gut feeling shouldn't be relied on. It shouldn't make you hear noises you can't verify. Here I was, dancing to the whim of this gut feeling. Oh well. Just in case, could we check the cameras? Sure thing. We had set up a couple of security cameras outside the house, hidden in the trees and grass. Krish and I walked over to a nearby desk with the computer set up. Let Krish type in the password to open up the monitoring program. Two of us just scanned the screens. I don't see anything. No, everything looks to be in place. Were you sure you heard something? Very much not so. But no, I wouldn't say everything's in place. Huh? See, look at this camera. Point to the relevant section of the computer screen. A leaf's fallen right in front of it. Like half of the view is now covered. Alright, so leaves fall. Just a bit of bad luck. Right, but then take a look at this screen. This time, the right side has been obscured by a fallen leaf. This is what we get for setting the cameras below some trees. No, Krish, think for a second. What's relevant about these two leaves? I let Krish figure it out themselves. Maybe now wasn't the time to quiz them, but I couldn't help myself. Oh! Both these cameras are showing the same part of the house. And the same part of the house is covered by the leaves. Both of them in conjunction has created a blind spot in our defenses. That can't be a coincidence. I certainly don't think so. Krish turned around and began walking toward the closed door. Whoa, Krish, what are you doing? I'm going to show whoever's out there what's up. Wait. What? Let's not just go out there and start screaming our presence, okay? Right now, we have an advantage over whoever put those leaves there. I don't think they know we're here. As long as that remains the case, we've got an edge. Okay. So then what should we do? Let's think. What are they hoping to do by covering those cameras? They cover those specific spots because they'd otherwise be caught on tape. Oh, jeez. Which means they're likely going to approach the house from that angle. Which means... I tried visualizing the whole house for a second. Then I turned and pointed at the nearby back door. We should be entering through that opening. Are you sure? No. Oh. I'm pretty confident. So if we know where they're going to come from, we can counterattack. I'm going to hide next to the door, ready to strike. You go wake up Polly. Oh, it's late, but it's probably Warren's disturbing him. I'd say. You sure you're okay by yourself? Obviously. Besides, once you wake Polly, you two should come back here. Cool? Right. Alright, I'll go handle that. Sounds good. Just like that, Krish went over to the staircase, looking to wake up Polly. Squatted down, ready for the door to swing open any second now. He knew coming here was the right decision. Maybe gut instincts should be respected more. Some people say that your gut is just your subconscious mind. That gut instincts are actually things that you've thought out quite a lot without even realizing it. Wasn't sure how much that helped things. Personally preferred conclusions I made consciously as opposed to leaving the work to the back recesses of my brain. Still, in times like these, maybe gut instincts weren't all that bad. Speaking of gut instincts, a new deadly one was creeping up on me. Gut instinct of doubt. Things really this straightforward. I mean, just going through the back door. It seems a little simplistic. Could things be that easy? Could things be that easy? Sure it could. That wasn't a well-thought-out argument. Because something seems easy doesn't diminish its likelihood. Then why exactly was I getting an uneasy feeling? Oh, I see. Polly's room is not far, and this is an urgent situation. Might not have been a lot of time, but it's still already been too long. Should have heard something, anything coming from upstairs. Instead, it's been silent, deadly silent. Against my better judgment, I stood up. Wanted to go check on Krish and Polly myself. But when I got to the staircase, I realized that my decision to come and intervene was absolutely right. That's right, I don't remember the specifics of Devon's plan, but wasn't he going to come in through a window upstairs? As a matter of fact, I came to that decision at precisely the right time. Any longer, and who knows what would have happened. I don't want to think about that. Top of the stairs, I saw Krish, and I saw someone else. Wearing a black hoodie, a face mask, and gloves. It was dark. It was hectic. Even despite all that, I could recognize them. That was the person I saw interacting with Governor Aisha. I had a picture of their face. Oh, so this is post... that. Then, was the assassination attempt coming from Aisha? That didn't make sense. Well, it's not like I had time to think about it right now. So there was something else that caught my attention. Something far more pressing. See, Krish and the Mystery Man weren't just standing next to each other. No, the Mystery Man was standing behind Krish, probably choking him. Krish's face was flushed. They were struggling, grasping at their neck. It was hard to see the darkness, but after a moment I spotted it. The Mystery Man had a thin black wire. He had it wrapped right around Krish's throat. Right now, Krish was being strangled to death. Shit. The second I had spent analyzing the scene was a second I couldn't spare. Determined not to waste a moment more, I ran up the stairs. Then when I got to the top, I rushed right at the Mystery Man. I threw a punch right at him. Fortunately, before the strike could land, the Mystery Man let loose the wire and lifted his arms up to block the punch. Krish, for their part, limped over to the side to the nearby restroom and tried to catch their breath. That's fine, Krish. I'll handle this myself. I threw another punch at the Mystery Man, but again, he blocked it. I tried to close the distance with an uppercut, but this time the assassin just swayed out of the way. Damn it, what the hell? Why wasn't this working? I threw another straight jab with my right arm. This time, though, the Mystery Man wasn't content to just evade. He got out of the way, then grabbed my outstretched arm. When he had me in a lock, he pushed me over, knocking me against the wall. Before I could recompose myself, he reached out and grabbed my head. He slammed my head against the wall again and again. It was a rush of 3 slams before I broke free, stumbling to the ground. Ah, fucking shit! What was going on here? It was so dazed I didn't have the composure to get out of the way when the Mystery Man sent a kick at my prone body. Motherfucker! I was knocked back, almost at the edge of the staircase. A bit more distance and I would have tumbled all the way down. This blow, however, didn't stun me, but instead pained me. Pain leads to aggravation, to adrenaline. In an instant I jumped to my feet. Then with blind fury I rushed right at the Mystery Man. Once again, though, this guy was prepared for the attack. He intercepted my rush and grabbed a hold of me. Before I knew what was happening, I could feel my body weight being lifted up. Then in an instant I was flung forwards. I was sent right into the bathroom door, crashing into Krish in the process. What the hell? Who was this guy? Was that goddamn Aikido or something? Being able to redirect my whole body mass told me all I need to know about the man's strength, at least. It wasn't exactly heavy, but still, a throw like that should be no easy feat. In pain, both Krish and I reluctantly got to our feet. However, by the time we were back up, we were met with an unpleasant sight. Freeze. Whoa. A rare actual depiction of Devon? Standing in the restroom's doorframe, the Mystery Man was brandishing a pistol. He had it aimed right at us. Well, shit. You two don't need to die. Just sit tight. I'll finish things and I'll be on my way. That's not... You think you have a choice? You just don't like needless killing. My brain was moving a mile a minute. You don't like needless killing. Weird philosophy for an assassin. Not impossible, mind you, but weird. Also contradicted by the fact that it sure looked like this guy was going to kill Krish when he had the chance. Couldn't be 100% on that fact, though. Maybe that was a different circumstance. What struck me was why this guy was just pulling out a pistol now. Like, shouldn't that have been the first thing you used? Guns are kind of a trump card. This guy might be super cocky about his fighting prowess. That might not even be the wrong attitude. Even still, a slight mistake, he'd be dead. I don't think he'd take that risk. It's possible he just didn't have a natural time to pull out the gun in the fight. Was applying a lot of pressure there. What about the case with Krish? Krish was ambushed from behind, seemingly. Surely a gun could have been used then. Well, maybe not. Maybe the man got into that situation with Krish through a fight. No, that was the easy answer. What was the real answer? What was this man here to do? Well, there was one easy guess. He was here to assassinate Polly. That's why he came through the window, probably. So then does that give me some insight? It sure does. Is a theory. What if this guy didn't want to use the gun because he'd leave a gunshot and blood? Wanted to keep the job clean. Hence the strangle kill. Right now, the gun was stalling us. Could just be a temporary stopgap, though. One that let him plan how he wanted to deal with us. If he was an assassin, it's likely he did research on Polly's house. Didn't know about our presence, Mystery Man might assume that nobody else knew about our presence. Then if he strangled us both, disposed of our bodies in the woods, then he could still stage whatever crime scene he had planned. Of course, that line of thinking was flawed since Chara did know about us, but Mystery Man might not know that. This was a lot of speculation. Gambling on the idea that the Mystery Man didn't want to use a gun was a pretty big gamble. But, well, this was quite literally a life-or-death situation. If there was a time to make a big gamble, let's all just... As the Mystery Man put his eyes on Krish, I took my chance. An instant, I leapt right towards him. If he was really willing to shoot us, a pro like him would probably have an itchy trigger finger and shoot me dead there and then. However, that didn't happen. I was able to land a punch on him before he could truly react. Yes! Score! Injured, he backpedaled into the hallway. He rushed out, hoping to land another strike. Fortunately, he made a quick recovery. He ducked my punch and shoved me back toward the stairs. I managed to avoid toppling back down. Before I could make another move, however, Krish rushed out right behind me. I tried to punch the Mystery Man in a similar fashion to my attack. That probably wasn't a great sign towards my prospects. Unfortunately, Mystery Man caught Krish's punch dead on. This free hand, he smacked Krish right on the side of the neck, sending them stumbling the opposite direction from me. Mystery Man followed it up by rushing in and throwing another punch right at Krish's head, which they just barely managed to block. So at this point, I was starting to regain my composure. I was looking to rejoin the fight. However, Mystery Man then took a sharp 180. Aimed right at me, he rushed forward and did something I could never have expected. He jumped up and with both feet kicked out at me. Dropkick? Dropkick? Being honest, this was an attack I didn't remotely expect. I had completely ruled out the possibility of dropkick. Is the gimmick here that Devon is the one playing the fighting minigame, and we're just living in the aftermath of this fact? I mean, that's not a good fighting move. It's not supposed to be, at least. However, I couldn't exactly contest its efficacy in this context. No way to dodge this close quarters. I did my best to block with both arms. There was no stopping that momentum. In an instant, I was sent backwards, stumbling down the stairs. Oh no. That stumble quickly turned to a full-on collapse. Bump. Crash. Thud. Fuck! Before I knew it, I was lying on my back at the bottom of the stairs. We just fell down the fucking stairs. Fucking ow. And a second later, wham! Oh fuck! Didn't really see what had happened, but I sure as hell could guess. Mystery Man had jumped down and landed right on me. It was confirmed as he came into view. Wasted no time pressing the advantage. His legs shifted to my arms, pinning me down. And with his arms, reached out to my face. Then in an instant, he didn't go for my throat. No. Both his thumbs began to push down my eyeballs. Fuck, no! I saw what he meant to do. I began struggling as much as I could. I couldn't get free. I didn't have enough energy, not from this angle. Time slowed to a crawl. I could only internally scream as his gloved hands came close. And then they reached my eyes. I closed them, of course, but I began to feel a pushing. I felt indescribable pain. And then, relief. Just as soon as I had felt the pushing, it had stopped. Pressure on my arms also came to a halt. I put my eyes to try and see what happened, but it didn't particularly do me a whole lot of good. Still, I could assume what had happened. Chris must have been short on the Mystery Man's heels. Just after he jumped down, so did they. Actually, I could hear the two struggle off to the side, out of sight. Thank Christ for Chris. Seriously. A half second more, and my eyes might have received some permanent damage from that psycho. Holy shit. If I wasn't still very much in a deadly situation, I'd be reeling from panic. Unfortunately, I didn't have that luxury. I knew Chris's fighting capabilities, and I now had a decent understanding of Mystery Man's. Fighting my injuries, I got to my feet. I rubbed my eyes, trying to come to my senses. In a few seconds, I was back to relative competence. Unfortunately, those were a rough few seconds for Chris. By now, they were on their knees, reeling from a blow. Mystery Man reached up and with great force landed another strike on the top of Chris's head. Chris reeled. Mystery Man lifted his arm once more, clearly winding up for another strike. However, at this point, I had made my way over to him, grabbed his arm midair, and used it to turn Mystery Man around somewhat. Then I landed one solid strike right to his face. Ha! That was satisfying. Mystery Man stumbled back. I helped Chris back to their feet. The earlier encounter had proved something to me. I needed their backup to win this fight. At this point, it looked like Mystery Man was the one on some tilt. He rushed forward, trying to punch me right in the side of the head. I dodged backwards, and Chris tried to kick him in the side. The kick actually landed. The Mystery Man quickly turned back and retaliated with a hook that missed Chris. Here we had him in a compromised position. Chris and I were on either side of the Mystery Man. Now to beat him down. With a mere look between the two of us, Chris and I came to an understanding. Then we both rushed in, punching and kicking the best we could. It was a bit of a blur what happened next. It was almost hypnotic how the Mystery Man reacted. Despite being attacked on two fronts, he weaved between dodges and blocks, fending off both sides. No matter what we tried, we couldn't quite get an attack to land. And finally, Mystery Man saw an opening. He was able to land an uppercut right to Chris's gut, crumpling them. Then, seamlessly, they turned back around and bicycle kicked me right in the forehead. I'd be upset, but being 1000% honest, I think I was just a bit impressed that I had actually been bicycle kicked. Alright, this wasn't working. Up against the couch, I realized that this guy might not want to use weapons, but that doesn't mean I shouldn't. I looked around, and something in the corner of my eye caught my attention. I began making my way towards it, but just then, all three of us on the ground floor turned our attention toward the stairs. Yo, guys, I'm going to party as much as the next side, but it's pretty fucking late. Could you please keep it? I'm in danger. Hey, friendo, what's happening? I heard Mystery Man let out an audible sigh. Fuck it. The moment I saw his arm move to his side, I knew what was about to happen. Oh boy. Look, reacting to the words that come up is all fine and good, but this whole thing was created because I don't want you to be passive. I worry you're just going to replace passively reading with passively reading and then clicking a button. That's no good. Click the button when I want you to, not when you want to. Oh no. What does this mean? Well then sometimes an opportunity will present itself to you when your ideas are coming to you. When this happens, immediately quit it before the time runs out, or face the consequences. The distraction caused by Polly's appearance, I had already grabbed onto the thin, wide metal bowl plate sitting on a nearby glass table. Catch, chuck, toss, shield, charge, hide. Catch. Throw it in the direction of the mystery man. But in that split second, my instincts told me that the bowl wouldn't make it in time if I threw it directly at him. On a move that a calmer, saner me would never have dreamed of, I threw the bowl at Polly, rather at the space in front of Polly. At the same time, Mystery Man took out his pistol and fired a shot right at Polly. Polly might really be blessed by a god or something, because the bullet really did hit the plate midair. I didn't quite catch the interaction, but whatever happened, I'm pretty sure I saved Polly's life. However, instead of watching that, I was rushing right at the Mystery Man. Jump kick. Chuck. Toss. Shoot. Charge. Oh god. What was that? Jump kick. Chuck. Toss. Shoot. Charge. If we could get off another shot, I grabbed the hand with which he held the pistol. Two of us began to wrestle for control of the gun. I feel that he was stronger than me, but I had an idea. Slam strike. Oh god. That's just rude. Just for control of the gun. I feel that he was stronger than me, but I had an idea. Slam strike. I slammed my head into his. Ow. Both of us recoiled in pain. Not my best idea. However, the interaction, the pistol dropped to the floor. I tried to kick it out towards Chris, but before my foot could make contact with the gun, the Mystery Man had stomped on top of it. I'm like we were thinking along roughly the same lines. After my kick attempt failed, Mystery Man himself kicked the pistol along the floor, skidding it under the couch. I probably figured that in this tense melee, he wouldn't have enough free time to actually successfully pick up the gun. Since there were three of us, there were a lot more chances for one of us to get our hands on it. Again, lightning-quick analysis skills on the part of the Mystery Man. He's playing the fighting minigame too. My faith in our ability to actually get out of this alive was rapidly depleting. No, I couldn't have those doubts now. I was in the middle of a tense fight in case I forgot. I had to stay in the moment. I tried pushing him, but he grabbed my arms handily. Behind him, Chris began to run in for another attack. Unfortunately, the Mystery Man was just as aware of this. As soon as Chris got in range, the Mystery Man let out a powerful kick to the side of their head. The smack of the impact would sound satisfying were it not for the context. Oh god, that was good job. Oh my god. Nope, that was way too quick. Left roundhouse jump, left axe, right butterfly roundhouse, right roundhouse. Bringing his attention back towards me with the same leg, he tried to roundhouse me in the gut. Let go of his arms and backed out of the way just in time. So at this point I noticed Polly rushing off toward the kitchen in the corner of my eye. I didn't have the mental capacity to even form an opinion of this, I just made a slight note. After recovering from the kick, Chris ran right back at the Mystery Man. He had to give it up for the persistence. However, this time, Mystery Man grabbed Chris by the back of the head. Then he smashed Chris's face against his knee. Oh no, go to sleep. Chris cried out in pain. Punch, charge, grab, shoot. Kick. Might expect Mystery Man to try and follow up on this. However, just as soon as he had targeted Chris, he took a step towards me and threw another kick right at me. Are we playing the mystery game? Are we really playing the fighting minigame for Devon? This time I had more than anticipated the attack. I didn't just dodge the kick, I was able to catch Mystery Man's outstretched leg midair. When I had his leg in my hand, honestly speaking, my mind sort of went blank. I didn't expect to get this far. Panicking, I just punched his leg in a way his joints shouldn't be able to bend. Or are we playing it in a way to predict his thoughts? And the interrupt actions are just sort of a move before Devon can act. If If that is the actual case, that's really clever. Just punch his leg in a way his joints should be able to bend. Fuck! Okay, that seemed to work well. Mystery Man wormed free and with a painful look, bounced backwards twice, putting some distance between himself, Krish, and I. It's at this point Polly came rushing back in, holding a pot with both his hands. Oh, I see. He was looking for a weapon to try and help the fight. And a pot was the best he could find. It's something. We'll take it. Mystery Man, for the first time in the fight, looked genuinely angry. You little pests. I noticed that he was reaching into his pocket. Never a good sign. For a second or two, he found what he was looking for. It would be a small metal capsule. What? A small metal capsule? Couldn't parse it at first. When the Mystery Man pushed down on it, I had a bad idea. Huh? Then when he threw it at the floor in front of me, my idea was confirmed. Luckily, in what I had to assume was a rare moment of clarity for him, Polly was actually with me in terms of thought process. Vels! Dodge, toss, shoot, charge! Without hesitation, Polly threw the pot he held over to me. I didn't even need to think twice about what to do. Reached out and caught the pot midair. And as soon as I had it in my hands, I made to cover the metal capsule on the floor with the pot. At the same time, I bent down, pressing my knee down on the pot. No sooner had I encapsulated the metal capsule than did I feel a strong force pushing out against it. It wasn't a slow build or anything, it was instant. Just like that, I was sent soaring backward. What? The pot was sent flying wildly into the air. The metal capsule was some sort of mini grenade. Flashbang! Something that didn't spew shrapnel, else it might have tore through the pot. It's just aggressive and instant explosion. Definitely just a mini grenade, though. I didn't want to imagine what would have happened without a real grenade. As in, the pot barely contained the blast. Or a full explosion. It'd probably be in pieces, honestly speaking. Anyway, if I wanted to feel shitty about my chances of survival, I didn't need to come up with hypotheticals. I was already knocked against the back wall due to the mini grenade. We'll say it again. However, even as I was being sent back, I knew I needed to recover ASAP. Mystery Man sure as shit wasn't gonna be lying on his ass recovering. And sure enough, as soon as I hit the back wall, I saw Mystery Man rushing straight forwards at me, both arms to the side. It's a dumb way of running. Is he Naruto running? Why was he straightening his arms like... Oh fuck, seriously? Before I knew it, in both hands, Mystery Man was holding small, black, karambit knives. Here he is with his ninja clan! Ninja clan, here he stands! Sorry for the saves coming. Motherfucker. They have them for sleeves. What sort of arsenal did this guy lug around on a regular basis? Whatever, fuck it. Sucker wasn't killing me. Cut slash, cut left, stab, slice, swing. Mr. Man got right up close and made a swing at me with a knife. We really are predicting his movements. That's another... I've come around on this fighting minigame this time. This is another really cool application of it. We had the stealth action. Of it in the Thane Aisha, the Thane Locke assassination chapter. And now we have application of it in terms of predicting the actions of a superior opponent. I like it. Quickly, I turned back around and got to my feet. Dropping another save. We expected Mystery Man's assault was far from over. Dual-wielding knives, he continued to slash at me. I did my best to stay out of his range as he wildly swung, but it was far from a stable arrangement. I was keenly aware that at any moment a slip-up on my part could leave me bleeding out slowly on the floor. Needless to say, I'd rather avoid that eventuality. I think we're getting close. Finally, in one particularly desperate-looking rush, I saw an opening. I was able to grab onto an arm holding onto one of the knives. It was a brief power struggle. This time, however, I was able to win it conclusively. Mystery Man dropped the knife right into my hand. Taking the most of this opportunity, I swung out at the Mystery Man. Fortunately, he was able to back up out of the range of the attack in time. Notice that he put the hand holding his remaining knife into his pocket. Whatever, I needed to push the offensive. Seems like we're getting ready to go to the next round. Took 2 more steps forward and stabbed out at the Mystery Man. Then before I knew what was happening, I felt a constriction around my arm. What the? Mystery Man had taken back out the wire and caught my arm in it. It began to circle around me, so I tried swinging back at him. My arm was firmly strung up. Instead, I moved, trying to hit him with my other arm. Just as soon as I had that thought, I felt my knife-wielding arm come loose. I swung up with the other arm. That one, too, was caught by the wire. Instead of it being wrapped up, however, Mystery Man moved to wrap the wire around a much more vital organ. Before I could object, I could feel myself being choked out by the wire, wrapped around my throat. Uh-oh. Snippery. It wasn't until this point I realized just how thin this wire was. You can't really resist when a wire is wrapped around your throat. You don't exactly have the muscles to do anything. Lucky for me, instead of directly choking me out, Mystery Man used the leverage to turn me around. See, Krish had come running in, again looking to land a wild strike. Mystery Man used me as a meat shield, and as Krish approached, they faltered. Mystery Man used this faltering as an opportunity. Rushed out and kicked Krish right in the stomach, sending them reeling back. It felt as though I had seen Krish reel back a dozen times already in these few minutes. None of us were progressing, we were just fighting. If I could expand on that profound thought, though, the brain to my oxygen started to cut out. That feels backwards. Now Mystery Man was choking me out. It was horrifying not being able to think straight, feeling your life slip away like that. Rage, I lashed out with the arm that held the knife, hoping to blindly strike my assailant. I stabbed in the direction behind me a few times, but nothing seemed to land. I could vaguely feel the wire around my neck twisting, indicating that the Mystery Man was moving his body out of the way. Then I felt a sharp kick to the back of my leg. Uh-oh. We were going to our knees. Fuck. I'd fallen to my knees at this point. This wasn't going to work. If this kept up, I'd be dead in a mere couple more seconds. Couldn't count on help. If I didn't solve this right now, I'd die. Alright, we're getting to the most vital point of this interaction. Grab. Left, right, cut left. Charge. Button. Bollocks. Grab. Left, right, cut left. Charge. Button. Fuck that. Fuck that. This jump wasn't killing me. Passed off my knife to the left hand, began trying to cut the wire around my neck. It wasn't exactly a clean angle to cut with, but I had a lot of desperation. Somehow I was able to make progress. At an absolutely soul-changing moment, I felt the tension snap and the breath begin to enter my lungs. Unlike Krish, however, I didn't fall to the floor gasping. I knew what I wanted to do the moment I was free. I turned around and swung wildly at where my assailant should be. Unfortunately, I was on my knees, which meant Mystery Man was able to jump straight over the arc of the swing. Then, midair, he planted the tip of his boot right in my face. I was then skidding further on the floor. Ow. I knew if I just lay there, though, I'd be dead in a matter of seconds. As I gasped for air, trying to recompose myself, I also quickly scattered on all fours, going from a crawl to a low-on-the-ground run, putting space between me and the Mystery Man. Oh, okay, we're done. At my side, Krish was also standing in a fighting stance. Mystery Man was just standing in front of us, glaring. And there, to the side of the room, Polly spoke up. Hey! Dude! Oh no, what you want? He wants to kill you, Polly. Okay, got that much, Vels, thank you. Point is, I don't know why you're doing this. I just called the police. They're on their way ASAP. They'll surround this place any minute now. Why should I care? Well, I mean, look, you could kill all 3 of us. Sure you could. I think the last few minutes have proven that with the 3 of us working together, it's not going to be an easy fight. I think the 3 of us will be able to last, at least a little bit longer. By the time we actually finish our job, it'll be too late. This place will be surrounded. You'll have no way out. You'll be dead, you'll be in jail. Really, nobody wins in that situation. To my surprise, the Mystery Man was actually considering what Polly was saying. This was the perfect opportunity to do something I was looking for this whole time. His attention distracted, I suddenly took my phone out of my pocket. Without even looking at the screen, I slid over to the camera app. And... Look, I'm sure your boss or whatever isn't going to be happy that I didn't die. But I'm a public guy. I'm sure he'll get another shot at me. If you get captured here, that's it. It's the end of the line. You rot in jail for the rest of your life. That's all you amount to. It doesn't need to happen to you. And we don't need to die. Oh, just, you know, leave, please? Fuck. Mr. Man looked absolutely pissed. However, quickly he fished his hands in both pockets. Flashbang! He took out 2 more metal capsules and threw them both at the ground simultaneously. Shit! The instant one of them hit the ground, my vision and hearing were robbed from me. Goddamn flashbangs. I tried to recover my senses as soon as I could. When I did, I saw the effects of the other grenade. A fire had broken out in the middle of the house. Mini incendiary grenade. Jesus, motherfucker. In the back, you could see Mystery Man fleeing. Oh no, not that easily, you dipshit. I began running in his direction. I made my way out of the house as soon as I could. I stayed on his trail as he ran out the back, out in the open grass. He had a lead, but I was fast. I'd catch up to him. In the forest, I felt an impact from behind. What the hell? Tumbled to the floor with a mass on top of me. What the hell? Who the hell? Krish? To my surprise, sure enough, Krish had just tackled me to the ground. Oh, come on! Now, what was this? Because this mystery man was totally going to lose me. Once in the forest at this time of night, I had no manner of tracking him. One chance was staying in eyeshot. That had just been blown. What the hell, Krish? What the hell, Krish? What the hell, Vels? What are you thinking? What am I thinking? Going after the mystery man. I'm asking why. Why? Krish just tried to kill us? Fucking exactly. He tried to kill us. Why are you chasing after him alone? To stop him. Don't. Vels, what was going to stop him from turning around and just shooting you in the face as you got closer? What are we gonna do if that happened? He probably doesn't have another gun. If he did, he would have gone for it in the house. You don't know that. I can assume that. I'm gonna bet your life on an assumption. Just did that like 5 times back to back in there. Fine, whatever. He doesn't have a gun. So? You still couldn't capture him. That right? It is. I don't know what you saw, but he just kicked your ass. Kicked both of our asses. He tried to kill us. He didn't. We won. On a technicality. 3-1. Barely. Do you seriously think trying to fight him alone in the middle of the forest is a good idea? You're gonna get yourself killed. I need to catch him. Why? Our job was to save Polly. We did that. Drop it. For once, Krish was right. Running directly after the mystery man was a dumb prospect. Okay, you're right, Krish. Thank you. I was worried you'd be stubborn about this. I'm not you. And I wish to get back to the house as quickly as possible. Kind of brushed past it, but a fire did seem to start in there. Should try and put it out. At the very least, make sure Polly's fine. Oh shit, you're right. Come on, let's go. Krish got up and began running back to the house right away. But part of me wanted to follow them. However, I just turned right around and continued to run into the forest. What? Sorry, Krish. Some things were better handled alone. You were right. Just blindly following after the mystery man was dumb. Didn't mean there wasn't something else I could do about it. I wonder how it feels to come to a point in your life where people are getting paid to kill you. Is Vels gonna take the picture he took of Devon trying to kill him, and the picture of Devon interacting with Aisha, and bring that to Locke? What's your emotional response to that? Pride? Guilt? Fear? Surprise? Or maybe when you get to that point you just expect it, you don't have a strong reaction. Imagine it's context dependent. Like, I imagine Art would probably expect it. Probably a bit surprised, but Polly would probably expect it too. He grew up in the Daysma family, after all. Anyway, it's a good thing for Polly that Vels was there. That Vels was the same old paranoid nutcase. Thus her to leave, so I'll admit that's a new one. Might have to steal that one. Though I have to say, seems like Vels isn't quite the gladiator warrior I thought. One day you're handling a 4v1 against gang members. Next day you're losing a 1v3 against an assassin. Feels bad. Feels bad, Vels. Guess our mystery man just might be that good. To all parties' credit, the fight did go on for a while without a clear winner. Took up most of the scene, in fact. Aside that the visuals were a little low par. And look, setting intense actions up in this thing is a real pain in the ass. I'm already putting too much work into a glorified test run. Ah, right, forget about my stupid blathering mouth. Let's talk about you. Would you want an assassin to try and kill you? Hey, wait, what was that? Oh, cool, very interesting. Let's put it for our chat. See you soon. Yes. Oh. You don't have anything? Nope, you were just trying to distract us. Hey, wait, what was that? Cool, very interesting. Let's wait for our chat. See you soon. Fair enough. Gold key for Vels 6. Lock 6 is unlocked. Laverna 6 is unlocked. Gold key for Vels 6. Olaf Eris 5 is unlocked. Silver key. Thane 5 unlocked. Devon 5 unlocked. Well. I expected to see that at some point. It was quite the interesting fight, I reckon. Quite the interesting fight. I suppose I'm rather, curious to see, where, Eris's story is going to go. Could be Eris and Laverna have something. Eris has some kind of influence on Laverna's story based on the actions Laverna has taken on her own in the course of this investigation. All the hair / DNA evidence that was gathered in the Veronica Collins mansion in the course of this investigation, Laverna has absconded with. Interestingly. We're going to see the result of that in Eris's story? Perhaps we will. Kind of curious how much Eris's story is going to intersect Laverna's with regards to the Collins mansion and the attempt on Polly's life. Which means that we would have 4 stories intersecting here. With Locke intersecting with this branch by proxy. Very curious. This is really coming together now. We'll see what happens on Olaf's story, Eris's story next time. Until then.